Hello, beautiful souls. Oh my goodness, I hope everybody is doing great. It is Monday and we are going to what? Create some what? Joy. That's what we're going to do. Let me make sure I got my chat box up. I am late to, well, I'm not late. I set the time for 4 because I knew it was going to be a very busy day. And so, I like to try to get ahead of things. I try. And it was a little bit more intent than what I anticipated. Tomorrow is going to be another intent day. Wednesday is going to be another intent day. And all you can do is take a deep breath. Oh, I wanted this to stay up here. Kinda. Let's put it right here. We're going to give time. I have a couple things I'm going to do. Going to make sure we got our chat box up. Yes, yes, yes. Pull up so I can see comments for sure, for sure. But yeah, we're going to talk about life and all the things, our usual over here on the channel. But most certainly we're going to get me in a better headspace because today has just been a little tricky. Let's just say that, tricky. I'm not going to sing. So the title of this YouTube channel, the YouTube for today, because we're done with vulnerable, but we're still going to be vulnerable. I'm still going to be vulnerable in my everyday life to a certain degree. I'm going to only talk about things that impact me, can't include other people. Because remember, we're only taking care of ourselves. We're not taking care of everybody else. We can only take care of ourselves. But we're going to talk about, I thought about it because as I was doing some watercoloring last week, and I had a couple of people ask me some things, and I was just like, maybe I'll do a little snippet of, not so much things that I wish I would have known. Not so much as that. Not that at all. But things that maybe you want to learn. Because here it is, life over a certain age, most people don't want to learn anything new. Me personally, I'm always learning. I'm always wanting to be a student. I'm like, put me at the feet of whoever is going to explore my mind, expand it, and help it to be more than what it was yesterday. And hence is my Create Joy. Y'all know what's under here. You know what this palette is. And this is what we're going to be using today as we talk about watercolor tips for beginners. And when I mean beginners, I'm talking about if you've never picked up a brush and you over here on my channel and you're just like, oh, I like our conversations and I like the conversations that they have when they're interacting on the live. And if you're on Team Replay and you're just like, oh my goodness, I just wish, where do I start? Get you a paintbrush. Don't start out with a bunch of paintbrushes like me. And this is not, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we don't even talk about how many paintbrushes are back there. But we're gonna talk about paintbrushes. We're gonna talk about paper, have all kinds of paper. We're going to talk about different kinds of watercoloring. This just happens to be granulations because granulations is where I'm at now. It's my thing. We're going to talk about handmade watercolors and my interpretation of the difference in how they are. And hi, Bernadette. How are you feeling today? Are we ready to go get our great reports? Because all things are great. So I literally just got home. It's raining. I hope the internet is going to. That was what I was thinking about as I was driving. And I was just like, oh my goodness. It's raining. The internet usually doesn't want to do great, but I claim that, Lord, I'm going to show up for me first, and then somebody's going to need this video. So you're going to make it to where it's going to show and shine. Okay. I got my coffee because the temperature went down. Got my coffee with cinnamon. Got cinnamon in it. Um, Listen, let's start out with this morning. This morning was it was a good morning. I slept good last night. When I woke up, I ran into a little wall, and then I haven't recovered from the hitting of the wall, and I really didn't have time to, because I've been busy. Mr. McCoy had therapy, so we had to get in the car and drive to therapy. Of course, it's raining, like I said, but I was prepared for the rain. I didn't worry about moving, rushing. I left in plenty of time. So right now, I came in here. So I just got home. I came in here, so I haven't even let the dogs out. But it's raining, so they'll be okay. Okay, so let's talk about the wall. I hit the wall this morning, and this is where self-talk, it helps, but sometimes self-talk just doesn't help. And I really want to hone in on when it doesn't, because it was like I hit the wall, I left the house, dropped him off at therapy. I was going to go and pick up some things from the store. So that way, when he finished with therapy, we could go on to my next stop because I had to go to pick up meds and just a whole bunch of things that I was prepared for it to be that kind of day. Okay, so I went in the Waffle House. Let's talk about that because I didn't eat. And since I've been doing all things that I have to eat. So I was like, well, you know what? I'll just, go in here, you know, grab me something quick because Waffle House usually is boom, boom, boom. You get in and and you're out. And Mr. McCoy don't have an appetite, so and he can't really sit in them booths, so it wasn't gonna be no good to making him go in there. So I figured he was going to be in therapy for an hour. This is what I'll do and take care of me and try to back out of that wall that I had hit. It didn't get better. Okay. It did not get better. This page makes me feel good. So while I talk about this story, this is really making me feel good. Just really. So I'm going to give you a little snippet of when life slaps the hell out of you. Sometimes you just have to take a deep breath and walk away. So I went in the Waffle House and I was on the phone talking to my cousin and we're talking and it was crowded. So it was two empty tables, right? And I was like, okay, well, I'll just wait until they clean the table off. Two people walked in behind me. And the young man came immediately and was like, hey, looked at them and was like, you're going to sit here. And he moved stuff off the table for them. So I'm on the phone and I told my cousin, I was like, I know he didn't just overlook me. Well, the lady turned around and she acknowledged, she just kind of shrugged her shoulder like, I don't know what he doing. And in my mind, I had very unchrist-like thoughts. So I just said, Karen, let's move on. Let's not run into this wall. We're not going to even go and do this. I went and got back in the truck, went on the Publix, got me something to eat, got me some fruit, got me some water, and I pivoted. But again, I still haven't backed out of the first. I just kind of evaded walking into another wall. Okay. And so after I got back in the car, I said, just let me eat. Maybe I'm hangry and maybe we can deal with the world a little bit. Okay. And so got in the car, did that, ate. And I thought about what happened in the Waffle House and I just kind of in my mind, I just couldn't let it go. And so that kind of from already hitting the wall of feeling like whatever, and then going into that situation, and then getting in the car and going on the military base. If you know anything about going on the military base and dealing with them, it's hurry up and wait, and you got to sit there hours and hours. And a prescription that I called in on Friday, I just thought it was going to be, done, wasn't going to be no problem. Then I get up there and did all that, and it's like, the wall. And I told myself, it's like, hey, you're at this wall. What are we going to do? I was like, I'm going to be on my live. I'm going to be painting. So I'm going to think about that. And that's what I did. So I thought about hanging out with you guys and I kind of let the wall alone. I just looked at it. I didn't do any more self-talk. I didn't care to do any more self-talk because my self-talk was not good talk. Right? So I know firsthand that healing sometimes doesn't mean that you have to really stand there and face it head on. I'm telling you personally, sometimes you just have to walk away, acknowledge that, this so and so and so is hurting and you don't want to deal with whatever it is. And mine just happened to be today. It wasn't grief, it just was people being ignorant. And I just don't like dealing with people that, in my mind, in my definition, are a little ignorant. There's no other way because what happened, it was just very ignorant. It didn't make no sense. Okay. I don't care. Y'all know I told y'all, I don't care about the climate of the world. I don't care about the people of the world. The only color that matters to me is green. And That's just how it is for me. Oh God, let me put on my do not disturb. See, and right now I'm gonna get frustrated because it's, but it is 4 o'clock and normally I'm done. I'm just, no, just chill out for a second. Okay, so I'm here for me first and then for you. And we're going to slap paint on paper. I'm going to feel better. And when I get off of here, I'm going to go and put my bonnet on, go and take my dogs out. I'm going to walk in the rain so they can at least relieve themselves, go tinkle and do all the things. They're still okay because it's not 5 o'clock. So they're still good. But I still like to have them out maybe. So, but that's what we're going to do. So if you're thinking about, if you've looked at my channel and you've seen anything that I've done, and you're like, watercolor, I love it, like it's great. This is how I start out. Okay, this is how I started, me personally. I started out first with a desire to want to change something, and my desire was I wanted to find joy after the death of my son. I wanted something that was going to make me just really be able to express how I was feeling and whatever. And I started with acrylic, and I was doing Bible journaling, and that way I was in the Word, and I was doing my best to try and talk to God, and it was working, and it did good. So I got deeper into it, joined a group, and we learned more. And so watercolor just became my release, which is why I'm here now, for sure, is to help somebody else. Maybe watercolor isn't it. But for me right now, slapping paint on paper, watercolor tips for beginning. That's what we're doing. Okay. And it doesn't mean that it happens to be that this is what you have to do. You don't. This is just my journey, and if it's something that you're interested in, you want to learn more, I want to invite you to join my Patreon, where you can learn more of something that will make you just feel better. Okay, we got watercolor brushes. I have this book. I'm going to start out in this. I don't know. I want to, you know what? Let's do this. I'm going to tell you what you need. You need tools, which is watercolor brushes. And yes, there's a difference. You need water, okay, a lot of water, because watercolor, water. And you need paper. Let's do it like this. This way I know it'll work. You need paper. Now, paper, we're going to talk about paper because I can say I have learned that paper matters. Paper and how much water you use. If I had to tell you anything about this journey before you do it, you can get the inexpensive paper. Yes, I have it, plenty of it. However, when you're watching a tutorial of somebody who has been doing watercolor maybe for a while, or they have a look or a style that you want, I will say pay attention to what kind of paper they're using, because it's going to matter when it hits the paper, right? This paper, let's use this paper. This is Walmart. I got this from Walmart. It's inexpensive cold press paper. Cold press means it has some grooves. It's not clear. It's not smooth. This is what I practice on. This is not what it would look like if I put it on this paper, any of these papers. And I'm going to kind of walk through it. These right here, this paper makes me really pay attention to how things are going down on the page, right? So I would say, some people will say, well, don't start out with, inexpensive paper. Don't go to Walmart and buy paper. I would say, don't even go to Walmart. Go to Five Below. Remember, I told you guys, get you some inexpensive paper. Because if you're just now learning, you need to learn, for number one, what kind of brush. Like, look at these brushes. They're different. All these brushes are different. I can pull out a different brush, a different size, how big, how fat, how skinny. They're all different, right? So when you look at what do you want, you need to know what it looks like going on the page. Now, let's back in and I'm going to get some water, and I'm going to show you something real quick. I'm going to keep saying real quick. I'm going to be like the Baptist preacher. Real quick. We're going to take up offering real quick. Real quick. We need to raise some money real quick. That's what they say. And so you'd be like, real quick? Okay, real quick. All right. The ushers bring the, All right, we have two different kind of papers. This is, like I just said, the Walmart brand. And I'm just going to kind of go and just slap this down. We're looking at two things. You're looking at water, and you're looking at how it's going on the paper. Like you can possibly see the grooves now that I've put something on the paper. Now, this is going to dry quickly. As a matter of fact, it's already drying. Like, already. You see you see the shimmer, but you see it's how it's drying in between the shimmer. I don't like that. 40,000. I guess I missed something. I don't know what 40,000 is. Okay, so right now, that's that. Okay, now let me show you the difference in this and this one. Now this one is cotton watercolor paper. You would think when you hear cotton, you would think that this effect, what I'm finna do, would be the opposite. Okay, but it's not. I don't know if you can tell. See how that water is still on that page? Like it's still there, still wet. And it's like, hey, right? See how wet? See? It's still wet, still wet. Oh, see how yummy that is all around. And that's going to be a half. Going to make that a half flower. But this one is dry. See that petal? It's dry. So this is why I would say pay attention to, if you're watching somebody, like even me doing this, ask me, like if I'm ever on live, and be like, what kind of paper are you using today? Usually I'll try to tell you, but this one is 100% cotton, and look, it's still wet. So then what that means is, so when you go in and you want to do something, I like to see it explode at the base. You kind of add that. If it was dry, you see how that is. Now watch this. It ain't gonna do. Why? Because it's dry. This side might, nope, it's all dry. And you can turn your paper to the side and you can tell. Okay, so as a tip, number one is pay attention to the paper. Like this is still wet, and that's gonna be so pretty. Like I'm gonna keep using this and this as my example. Okay, brushes matter. You need to know what kind of brush you like. If you like fat brushes, skinny brushes, you like brushes that are, I don't know. I would tell you to get you a set of brushes. You can either go to Hobby Lobby, you can get them from Five Below, anywhere that has the 5 basic brushes, which is a round brush, a flat brush. There's another one. It's usually in a different size. You have a filbert brush. You have a, what is this one? A dagger. You might have these kind. It depends. When I started out, this is the only brush I use, the round brush. And even sometimes when y'all will see me when I'm painting, I'll pick up the round brush. Why? Because I have memory muscle of using it, and it works for me. But remember I told you guys what I was changing coming into the year was trying new things. And so I've been trying this brush, which I love, and it gives you different petals. That's a whole nother conversation there. But tip number 1, pay attention to the paper you use. Tip number 2, pay attention to the brushes you get based on what you like. Not even what I say, but what you like. Okay? Then you go and, will I tell you to spend $7 for a sheet of paper to paint on in the beginning? Absolutely not. I'm not telling you that. Me personally, will I spend $7 on a piece of paper to paint on? Yes, if it's going to be a piece that I'm going to paint something on, that is going to be a commission piece, that yes, I will. I will tell you, have your kind. I will tell you not to get inexpensive paint. Yes and no. I'm not going to say I didn't enjoy the inexpensive paint. I'm not going to say I didn't. I'm just going to say it made my learning curve very interesting, because you know why? because when you don't know no better, you don't do no better, right? And then when you have people like that be like, hey, I like these watercolors. I think you should try them because, your flowers will pop and da-da-da-da. And then I'll be like, oh, okay. Then you get introduced to a new watercolor. And then you're trying to figure out, wait a minute, why doesn't this react the way the other one? And it's because it's a different watercolor. Usually the more expensive, the behavior is going to be different. Okay. So I started doing all of this, y'all, because I really wanted to renew my joy. I wanted joy. I wanted to figure out, how was I going to start over after the trauma? How was I going to embrace the new? What did that look like? And so as I sat in going through paper, I just recently, the last couple of years, paid attention to paper. Paper before usually didn't bother me. I didn't care that my flower looked like this. I didn't care that my flower didn't look like this. But when I started following different people, I was like, why isn't my flower looking like that? Like, why? And I learned a couple years ago, it was because of the paper, right? So if you see this right here, this is what happened. Same thing. But I was working on something different here, so it really didn't matter that it dried quickly. Hey, buddy, how are you? Hi, Bridget. So it really didn't matter. But if you are wanting to start out and you never ever touched watercolor, and I'm inspiring you, and you just like, I'm gonna go get me some watercolor. Go first of all to Five Below, get you some paper, get you some brushes. I'm not gonna suggest getting the paint from Five Below. Okay. My granddaughter, I didn't even get her paint from Five Below. Just didn't, because again, I want you to start out better than me. I want you to start out, especially if it's something that you find that it's going to relax you like it does me. Like knowing that I was going to come and just sit up and have a conversation and chat with you guys, that made me feel good, right? So it really can, after life has happened, life will happen. There's nothing we can do about it. Life is going to keep swinging, just like this morning. I got hit that wall, and it's just like, oh, shoot. I couldn't even back up off the wall. Like, not a literal wall. It's just, something that happened. And so I personally was trying to I couldn't just come in my studio. I really would have. And just painted it away. Just painted my emotions, my feelings. I would have painted it away, right? But I couldn't do that. So, and being that I didn't see it coming, I ain't have nowhere soft to land. And usually coming in my studio, slapping paint on paper is my soft spot. It's where I would land. It's where I would be like, oh, okay, that didn't matter. Okay, I didn't receive it that way. Or I did receive it that way, but it wasn't meant to. I go down that rabbit hole. And that's that. Okay, and I would tell you, you decide if you like palettes. So from watching me and what I have here on my channel, and you can go back, and I have a playlist that is just entitled Watercolor Fun. And you can go back and look through those, and you can, drop down in the comments, ask me questions, because like I'm here to help you get through some things. I'm not really worried about really teaching you a lot of things, other than giving yourself grace to start something to help you navigate through what life is already done to you. And when you're trying to get through trauma, when you're trying to get through the loss of a loved one, when you're trying to get through the breakup of a friendship or relationship, the loss of a job, sometimes it's better when you have something that you can go and sit down in your quiet place, and that you can really, really, really pay attention to, right? So I'm giving you permission to grieve and grow, because that's what I did. Learn how to honor your pain without staying stuck in it. And that's what I tried to do today. It didn't work the whole day. I went, and I wasn't in a bad mood. It was just I knew that I did not have another drop to receive in my cup. Then and when I know that about myself, I know that I don't want to interact with the world too much. But what? I had to be out and about. He needed to go to therapy. I needed to get my medicine from the pharmacy. Then I had to follow all of their protocols and rules that they had. And then, oh, we don't have it. Wait, what? You had me waiting here? Oh, okay. It's okay. No worries. Why? Because I gave myself permission to just not even engage in the foolishness. And I wasn't going to. So that's it. But growing through the the pains sometimes is not as easy as like I said. I said that like it was so easy today, but it wasn't. It really wasn't. Um, and it didn't do nothing but aggravate me. And but I had hope. Y'all know why I had hope? Because I was gonna be here with you guys, and even though it was gonna be an hour late, and I was hoping people paid attention to the time that it would change. Wednesday is also gonna be at 4 o'clock because he has therapy. So, we gotta juggle a little bit. Gotta navigate and change some things, right? So listen, when you think about watercolor painting, ask yourself what kind of watercolor do you want to do? You want to paint flowers? Do you want to do landscape? Do you want to paint dogs, cats? Those things matter, right? Let me get a sip of coffee. Yeah, it dropped down to 59 degrees real quick. And I was just like, oh my goodness. Um, but creative healing tools. And it doesn't, let's listen. If you don't, watercolor is still not something that you want to do. This is not your jam. And you're just like, I'll never be able to paint like that. Don't say that, first of all, because I didn't think I would be able to do any of what I do now. Don't do that. But if watercolor isn't your thing and you're just like, I don't want to do none of that, ain't got time for that, whatever, then get your little journal. Let me show you guys something. Remember I told y'all go to Five Below. I go. So get your little journal. Maybe you want to sketch. Buddy's on here. Buddy loves to look, Bridget, we call each other Buddy, but Bridget loves to doodle. Talia, she loves to draw. Like they draw, they do good. So but this little book will be good. Well, I wanted to put some watercolor in it, but it's not watercolor. And then I had to go back and look at it. It's a sketchbook. But what I'm telling you is maybe you don't want to do watercolor. Maybe you don't want to draw. Maybe you don't want to do any of that. You're like, I don't got time. I don't want to get dirty, whatever. Any of that. But you can get this in journal. I got this from Five Below. From my Five Below. It actually is cloth. It is so freaking cute. So you can maybe journal or write. Maybe not journal. Maybe just write down words or like sometimes people need to write things down, some words. It's not journaling. It's kind of, but it's just you write down some words, right? Write down the emotions of how you might be feeling. Like if I really was to write some words in here, I wouldn't be able to share them with you guys. And I've prayed. I've done prayer and asked the Lord. That's why the Lord kept me when I went to the first place and the girl said, no, we don't have. And I was like, oh, okay, no worries. Went to the second one. She said, we don't have. Oh, okay, no worries. Because I had already prayed. So my faith was what do you call it? My faith was already executed. We were already plugged in. So I'd already done the resilience talk. So I'd already done all the things that I tell you guys to do. But sometimes when that just doesn't work, you have to just step back. Remember, don't run into the wall. Don't keep running, head-butting yourself into the wall. Just step back and then think about something that you're going to, like I thought about, I'm going to hang out with y'all. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Goodness gracious, girl, I'm used to you on Team Replay. I haven't seen you on live in a minute. Oh, it's good to see you. It's good to see you. We're just talking about a little beginner in my day. So yeah, faith talk and my resilience, it was, put it out. But I'm encouraging you to still be truthful to yourself. So I had to be truthful to myself and say, self, I'm just not feeling any of this. So I'm really going to get through this, get home, get on my live, and then tell the people about it. And then I know I'm going to feel better. I do. I already feel better just now. Listen, it's normally at 3 o'clock, but my husband he had knee replacement surgery last week. So he has to go to therapy. So that's why I wasn't going to make 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock, I was still like an hour away from home. Okay, so this book, watercolor's it didn't want to do it. But I have these beautiful pens that, as a matter of fact, Bridget sent me these pens, and I wanted to see something. These are watercolor pens, but I wanted to see something. Probably if the water isn't going to work right there, it probably ain't going to work. It's just not going to do it. Because it's not paper that's meant for water. But you know, I like to try stuff anyway. Yeah, no, that's not going to work either. But oh Lord, what did I do? Push back, go back in. Oh, there you go. I have colored pencils, so we can use colored pencils. I'll put this one in my bag, and I'm already prepping my bag for Wednesday. Tell Mr. McCoy to do his. He's on here. He's on here. He was do his exercises. I'm not pushing him to do nothing. He know what he's supposed to do. He got his homework in there, so hopefully he's doing all the things. Well, I'll know next week. I'll know next week, Lisa. You know, 2 weeks after, it's a week tomorrow. So next week will be 2 weeks after. And usually when you get in the bending, that's when it's going to be. Okay, I am going to, and William lost his aunt yesterday. So I did this page because I had to get my emotions out. Remember, I told you, life is going to happen. How you respond to life usually is what really makes you survive or not. So this is what I did last night, and I took my time to really talk to myself, go through pictures, and all that thing. And then I put on here in memory of the date I did it, and of course, I named it. So that worked, but I can't remember what kind of paper this is to know. Oh yes, I do. No, I can't use this paper to show y'all what I want to show you, but I made this book. Y'all like this? This is a book that I made from a bag, gift bag from Hobby Lobby. So this is my new art journal. And I got another one. This one I did last night. So last night I stayed in the studio probably till about 12. Again, grief. And I was working out my own frustrations and my own sadness and whatever. So I did this book, and I was trying to record it at the same time, and I was doing it back. I did it backwards. So this one right here didn't work. But it did. And it's this is watercolor that I did on there, and I thought I was like, oh, I can put that on a cover. So some more of my art, and it's just some pages I just put in there. And so this one will go in my to-go bag. So this would be my to-go bag. So my other tip is to make sure if you're going somewhere and let's say you decided I'm doing this watercolor thing, I want to do it. Remember, we're doing brushes. Get you a brush. If you're going to do it on the go, get you some travel brushes. And my travel brushes are in my travel bag. They're not with me right now. They're Christy Rice travel brushes, and I love them. Wait, are they in here? Oh, yes, they are. Hold on, I can show them to you. But you need travel brushes so that you don't break. Oh, that's where my umbrella was in my travel. I knew it was something. So you have a travel bag that you put all your things in. You have, look, in my travel bag I have socks. Because it depends on I never know how long I'm going to be where I am. So, oh, well, my brushes are not in. Wait a minute. Oh, there they are. And brushes. Okay. And my travel bag is I can't even put it up here. Okay. So, yeah. I have videos on go bags. Oh, nice. I have to go check that out. Because, let me put my socks back in there. So my bag was kind of still packed from last week. I need to keep a travel bag in my car. Yeah, Bridget, I'm surprised you don't have one in your car. Listen. Oh, y'all listen. Bridget's on here. Let's give her a shout out. Bridget made this bag. This bag that's my art on it. And she sewed it on this bag. But she made this bag. It's like canvasy. Bridget, I can't remember what you said it was made out of. But this is my go bag that I put my watercolors in. I have paper in there, watercolor paper. I have washi tape in there because I'd be wanting to edge it up so that, I have watercolor pencils and brushes. So I don't even spend a whole lot of time in color. Like I just got a couple of, what's 3 watercolor pencils by Prisma, a couple of brushes, and a pencil because we're practicing doodling. I'm actually practicing doodling water. What is that thing? Coffee cups, teacups, napkins and decoupage. Okay, so y'all, that's what she did. Napkins and decoupage. And she made this bag, and then she, put it on the sewing machine, put her her little logo on there, and artist Karen McCoy. It's just so cute. So of course it has to go with me. And look, so this will fit perfectly in there. And then these are my Joy Travelers that I got from Christy Rice. I could put a link in. I'll put a link in the description box below. But aren't these things the cutest? Like they are. These are watercolor brushes. So if you're new to watercoloring and you're like, oh, I would love that, make sure you get you some watercolor travel brushes. Why? Because look at this as opposed to this. That's all I'm saying. I don't carry these all over the place with me. This is what goes in right here. And when you pull them out and pop them in, boop, now you got a long brush just as long as this one was. So yeah, and then it pops back off and sticks right on back in there. All 3 of them. I was going to say, what them brushes go that fast? So there's a fine one, a real fine one, real fine, about as fine as me. It's fine. And then there's this one, which, and all her brushes have nice little saying, but this one says, it says watercolor curious, but if you know Christy Rice, you would know she would say, stay watercolor curious, like for joy's sake. This one is called, yep, art for joy's sake. And that's how I started. That is really how I start following Christy Rice is joy. Everything is around joy. And that's what I was seeking. I was seeking joy in my life. I wanted to get my joy back, right? Like after the death of my son, I needed something that was going to help me smile again. And so watercolor, like today, guys, after I had such a crappy day, I literally knew that coming home, hanging out with you guys was going to make me feel better. Yeah. Okay. So in this book right here is, how big is it? That's what I can't remember. It is over 12 long and 9.5 wide. And Hobby Lobby had their paper pack on sale. This is how this book got to be so big. And that big paper pack that's I think it's about 50, I don't know how long it is, but I didn't want to cut the paper. And I took the paper, bent it in half, and just got me made a cover in the back, and that's where we are. So, but it turned out so daggum cute. Let me show you the bag. So this is the bag. Isn't that, like, when I saw this bag, I was just like, oh my God, that bag is cute. And my, somebody said it looked like, oh, my daughter said it looks like Mater. If you know Cars, the show Cars, she's like, look like Mater got some flowers slapped on him. But yeah, it's just a regular old bag. And it was 74 cents, regular $2.99. So I was just like, oh. So this was, the front part was the cover. The back part was the cover. And I still have the sides that I can use for a smaller book. So that was fun. That was really, really fun. I enjoyed that. Okay, so we're continuing on. Now, if you are new to the watercolor world, and I would say pay attention to what kind of watercolor you get, because this is me giving you Karen's I wish I knew that when I started, like playing around in watercolors, because I wasn't playing in watercolors. I was loving acrylics. I was slapping paint on paper with acrylics, loving it, doing my thing, right? So pay attention to watercolors, what kind of watercolors you got. Okay, well, if it was pretty and shiny and shimmery, like, oh God, I need that, right? It seemed like it got dark in here. Let's see. At car shows, the Russia truck's color is defined as oh, really? Oh, that's good to know. I wish I could get an old truck and put out in my pasture, like in the yard. Like, I really would love to decorate the yard with an old truck like that. All right, these are the ones, y'all. I put a video up of all my watercolors. Oh my goodness, all my watercolor, all my good watercolors. Let me put it that way. All my good watercolors. Good, right? Not my Hobby Lobby, not my Masters Hobby Lobby, Michaels, not those. Not those. Not Five Below, not the inexpensive. I shared all of them, all of these, minus this one. I forgot this one, Deep Light. All of my new loves, which is granulation. So my point is, when you get ready to do watercolors, right? You want to do watercolors. I personally would say pay attention to what kind of watercolors it is, right? In the beginning, if it was pretty, like let's say this, I saw this online. I wanted to order it. And I was like, oh, those are some pretty colors. My flowers would look good. I would just order it. I didn't pay attention to what it was. And when I say what it was, I mean, was it handmade? Are they granulating? All that stuff. Those are the two that I'm really digging deep into. Granulation. I am loving granulation. OM freaking G. Okay. I got these. These are my loves. Y'all know I put my loves in this nice ceramic palette. These Magello Mission Granulation Tourmaline. That's what these are. And then Holbein, which are over here. But check this out. Y'all know I told y'all I didn't like this one. I did not. So check out what I did. Check out what I did. We got another thing. We put them in something that we love because we needed to still be able to love on them. Now I'm going to finish this out. I promise you I'm going to finish both of them out, but I needed them to be pretty. And I just hated this one. I hated this one because this pops out. Like, I didn't like that. And if I use this side, and that's the side mostly I was using, if I wanted to close it, I had to wait for it to dry. Yeah. So anyway, that's my I don't like of this palette. Okay. But we still use it. And then we had to do something else. We're going to leave that little box sitting right there. If you've seen my video, you know what's in that little box. Yes, you do. Okay, now let me get back to what I was saying for the people that's the beginnings because I got excited. Let me back up. See, that's why I was happy to come and hang out with you guys because I knew y'all was going to make me feel a whole lot better. Okay, pay attention to what kind of watercolor it is. Why? Because if you don't, you'll be doing flowers or whatever, and then if it's doing something like, where's my what did I do with my, oh, there they go. Remember I did this and I showed you this, how that dried real quick, and then I did this and showed you see the difference, right? Same watercolor, but the paper is different, so pay attention to the paper. But this is a different watercolor, this is a different watercolor, and this one is a different watercolor. Now, why am I showing you all three of these? Because when you're starting out with watercolors, you need to know if they're granulating, you need to know that some magic is going to happen. I know that now. I didn't know that before. And you want the popping, if you want it, then you need to know what kind of watercolors you're getting. If you don't care, then it doesn't matter. I care. I was trying to figure out, like, I would be trying to, let's take this one. See this right here? This was granulating watercolor. And I was trying to, in the past, I would take my brush and I would try to smooth it out because this is how I really wanted my flowers to look. Hi, Azuka, how are you? Listen, I bought me some pineapples and some, today from the grocery store. I'm going to make my thing that you had on yesterday. Yep, and is. But I want my flowers to look like this, right? Not like this. Well, this is a different rose. But so therefore, because I know what kind of watercolors this is, I knew that I was going to have to wait, pause, let it dry, see how it was working out, then come back in and make it pretty. This one, same thing. Like it just I don't even use this watercolor. We won't even tell you who this watercolor is because it don't matter. Okay, it's just three different brands. This one I love. This one is okay, but this one we don't even use no more. Okay, all right. But it gave me a good example to kind of share with you of what to pay attention if you're a beginner and slapping paint on paper is something that you want to do. Like that's all I'm saying is pay attention to what kind of watercolor. If you want, start out with Daniel Smith, but Daniel Smith has granulation too. So, but the beginner kit, the very beginners, and I don't know where my kit is. Not that I had a beginner, I have all the things. So they operate kind of like these. These are handmade watercolors. These are. They're different. They're just gonna show up different. They're like the love of your life that you thought you never would find. That's what I think handmade watercolors are to me. I love Dots and Dust did some. I love her watercolors, and I hate that she don't make them anymore. But I've kind of come over here, and again, I've fallen in love with Mission Magello. There we go. Isn't that cute? Using granular watercolor can reactivate each time water is added. Is that correct? So each time, yes. So when you look at and see, and it depends on the paper. You need to give it time. You definitely need to give it time to really. I wanted to show y'all how this paper is, so I got to open it up. I got it from Jackson. I'm in love with Jackson. Jackson, I ordered something on Monday. It's here by Friday. Like they got some great shipping, and they send these big old boxes that I can use to make make junk journals out of. That's what. So Lisa, that's another thing that I learned too. That some watercolors are like Jesus. They're very forgiving. But some watercolors, well, even when I don't care how much water you put on them, they just don't wake back up and correct themselves like I want them to. And I also learned that had something to do with what kind of paper it was on, which is why I have spent the last month trying to decide what kind of paper I love. I like, what is it? Arches. They say it a different way over there, but y'all know what I'm talking about. ACH. But I just got tired of paying that price and not really, for the ones that I have that I sell, that are in my art store, art store, those are okay. But when I'm just practicing, just kind of talking to you guys, I still want my paper to be more than this one. Like I said, I got this from Walmart. I was very surprised at it, but it just doesn't do good with my granulating watercolor. It does good with some other stuff, as y'all can see with this flower. We're going to keep using this page. I don't know what was on there, so we're going to let that go. Well, it's probably because the water dirty. It's another thing. When you get water, get you some clean water. All right, we got that there. So let's put this one. Let's sweep that around there. And we're going to sit it to the side. That one color, I needed my, what do you call it, to tell you what color it, but this one, you see right here, that's dry. And you get to see the granulations, the different, it's like, I think 3 colors in this green, if I'm not mistaken. But this one right here, again, it might not work on this paper because this paper is just not great. So, but I did it over here. So we can probably do a little bit of that. Let's reactivate this one because this one's on cotton watercolor paper. So, and then that way you'll get to see. Let's just do this. And I think, and my humble opinion, Lisa, what it does is it wakes it up and gives it the opportunity to move again. So, because when you wake it up, you got to add more water. But you see, it gets lighter. And if you want more pigment, then you just need to add more pigment. But we're going to let that stay the way it is. But you get to see how that just really, you can almost see the yellow in it. I don't know if this is good because I can see the yellow. So that would mean must have some yellow in it and some blue. I know this has blue, yellow. I want to say blue, yellow, and green, maybe. My cheat sheet is not right next to me, so. But, and then if I take this one and do the same thing, because let's say that merged together, I like that. But the more I let this dry, the bolder it's going to get, the more it's going to pop. And then let's say tomorrow I come in here and I don't like it, or let's say I want to change it. Then you can just add some more to it. But look how that is really just waking up. I just love it. I love it. Oh, you can kind of see it on here because this one is drying. And this one, since this one, let's do this because they were dry. That was good, good, good and dry. And again, it's not cotton paper, so it doesn't dry. Now, when you're starting out in watercoloring, this is just a good example of why I say you need to know how your watercolor behaves. I didn't know how watercolor behaved. Because why? It wasn't important to me. You like that monochrome? Oh, did you see the other ones I did? That's just been the thing. I'm in Tammy Faye's class, and that's what we've been doing. But check this out. Look at that. That's just beautiful. So when you're starting out with watercolors and you just like, oh my God, Karen is doing, them flowers are amazing. This is what I've had to learn. I've had to learn the behavior of all the different watercolors. Now we're going to do a little something because I want you to understand really, 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 really. These are handmade. All right, let's move over here. We're going to let that dry. You're going to notice the behavior is going to change when I bring it back up. This right here is, let's take this one. I love deep, 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 deep light. Talia turned me on to them. Now, these are not granulated, but they're handmade. Now, watch this right here. Just imagine this is butter. This butter right here. This the toast. The paper is the toast. Watch this glide. Even on inexpensive paper. Do you see that vibrancy? Oh, M-A-G. And again, handmade watercolor just does something a little different. And I'm learning. It don't got all that stuff in it. It's like going to the store, buying organic whatever. You know, I like, what's that meat called? Angus beef. I don't want all the things. I want my cow to have been hanging out in the field. So handmade watercolors don't have a lot of stuff in it. That's all I can say about that. Ain't got a lot of stuff. This right here, this is why I've fallen in love with the Mission, because they don't have a lot of stuff in them. These are nature based, so they're fun. So when you get ready to put them on paper, they're going to be yummy. Now let's open this book up. This is Backing for Traditional Watercolor Paper. This one is 140 pound, 300 GSM. And it is, oh, you can't see the yep, see that, look at that granulation, which means, remember I say you need to know the behavior of your watercolor, you need to know what your paper is going to do, so when you go and put something on it, it's going to do something like this. What did I do? I did this. Let's stick to what's on my brush. And I like when the butter goes on the toast, and it just look at that. Oh, M freaking G. I'm in love with this paper. Jackson, if you guys want to try out paper, Jackson has some they don't have samples. You have to pay for them, but you get to have samples of different like brands. Look at that. That's beautiful. I think the handmade colors have more pigment and less filler. Yes, absolutely. It's like light beer. What they say about light beer tastes great, less filling, something like that. I had samples of it. This is how it came. So you got to try them out. And remember, granulating watercolors. I will tell you, if you decide, if you're passing through, you're on team replay, and you're just like, I might try some slapping paint on paper. I might. If you try and you decide you like what this granulation, not this one. Well, I think I do. This one is, I think it is granulating. I'm not sure. Deep light. I got to go a little deeper with them, but if you do decide you want to go granulating, you want to try with granulating watercolors, I would just say don't do it with little swatches. You got to spread that paint out. Like you really got to spread it out so that you can give it time to react to what you want to do, right? So these are, I did Milford, I did Saunders, and I did Bockingford, which y'all can see. I like Bockingford because Bockingford's paper, they have it in cold press, and I do not like hot press paper at all. You see, I didn't even finish it. But Bockingford had rough, and this is what rough, and these were granulation. No, they weren't. Nope, they weren't. They were deep light. But this is rough, and it see how right here how the pockets, the paint went into the pockets. That's the roughness. That's what I like about it. Let's see. $100 palettes works. $100 palettes works for me. I have cheap watercolors, but I have some highly pigmented eyeshadows. My daughter said were expired. Eyeshadow expire? Well, yeah, it do expire. Look, I was going to ask that question. I was like, yeah. Yes, but look at this. So this one is granulating. That one is that I use. But you see how the paint, see how the pigment is on the paper? It didn't, see how it's deep right there? It did its own thing. So that's why I say you got to let the granulating watercolors, yes, this is cotton. You got to let it do its thing. You just got to let it just do its thing. You don't rush the process. Like, look at that one. See, we're coming back to this one. This one is dried real good. And how that one, we woke it up and how it kind of did its own thing. Like, oh man, I just love it. Like, I think, in my humble opinion, I think when you get granulating watercolors, they make you a better artist. Like, they do stuff that you wouldn't have never done. I just wouldn't have never done some things that it does. Like, look at this one. Check it out. I wouldn't have been able to do that. I don't care how much I tried. As a matter of fact, where's that ugly paper? That's what this was. I was trying to make sure it kind of get that. But look, when you let it do its own thing, you just slap the paint on down there and just keep it moving. All right, let's get this color right here. This is Clementis. Is it? No, it's not. That's not Clementis. That's Milky Way. Oh, I don't want that one. I want to use pretty colors. Clementis. I'm trying to learn all of my missions. So both of these, this is rough, Bridget. This one is rough. And this one is not rough. This one is cold press, just regular cold press. And I watched somebody on YouTube, I don't remember who it was, and they were talking about rough with regular. She was just doing regular watercolor. Oh no, it wasn't. It was in my skills share. Is that what it is? And the way she was talking about the paint behaving with the paper, I was like, I'm gonna have to try that, because it's one thing to talk about it, but it's another thing to actually do it, right? So my whole point in all of this rant of this watercolor is try something new in your life when life happens. Because sometimes you just can't go back to yesterday. God knows, if I could go back to yesterday, I'd go back to October the 1st, and October the 4th will never have happened. But that's not the way God lined it up for us. So when life happens, we need to have an outlet or something so that we can just pull in our emotions and just be like, hey, I'm mad, I'm pissed, I'm something, I'm whatever your emotions are. And then for me, it just happened to be slapping paint on paper. Like and as I'm going forward with still loving it and getting, because people ask me things and I'd be like, okay, I never planned on teaching any of this. The only thing that I would love to let people know is I want you to grab life and to tell life, I'm not giving in. I'm not falling in. I'm going to fight back and decide if today is the day you're going to do whatever you're going to do, just do it. And then tomorrow you tell life, hey, life, I'm still here. Most my grandma say, the devil get mad when my feet hit the floor. And I was like, I'm going to have to use that. Because the devil does. He's like, wait, she ain't giving up. No, let life know you're not giving up. Because, guys, life is going to happen. Would you demonstrate that flower on wet paper? On what? Oh, like wet the paper? Which one? On this paper or the which paper you want? This is the cold press. Just let me know which one, and yes, we will. I know you want to see how wet it can get, but look at that flower. That flower is, well, you can see like once it gets dry, and this is what I love about the that I'm loving about granulating watercolors is once it dry, you can see how vibrant that is. Do you see how many colors? Tell me how many colors y'all see. I found you by one of your shorts. Is that how you got to me, Lisa? Well, listen, you know what that tells me? That tells me I'm going to have to keep doing these shorts because I had gotten to the place where I was doing the lives on Mondays and Wednesdays and I realized that I wasn't doing shorts. Like I was throwing up one or two. I was doing like 10 a day. Like I paint. And so it's easy to just throw up a short. But the behaviors of YouTube is like, it's fun. So I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that. But look at how many colors do you see in there? Even this one is drying up. How many colors do you see there? Like they're so fun. I'm going to do a whole pigment thing. But most of all of that I try to do over my Patreon, go more deep and dive deeper into each color and what it is and all the things. And we have a little bit more fun over there. Y'all join me in Patreon. It's fun. Before I get out of bed, I pray when I am successful, I say, not today, Satan. Yes, man. Listen, I just stopped giving Satan any kind of attention. I just be like, God, is this a Job moment? Like, did you and Satan have a conversation like y'all did with Job? Y'all didn't invite me to the party, right? So then right now I got to get through this day and I got to pass this test. Is this what it is? And that's usually how I do it. Make a flower with clear water and fill. Oh, got you on the cold press. Okay, I got you. I thought I want to make sure. Oh, let's do it on this one. Oh, you said cold press. Okay. I'm gonna do it on the rough one. That one has magic. That one really has magic. Oh, and let's see what we're gonna do. Oh, Jasper Stardust is this one is handmade. I got it off of Etsy. Again, Christy Rice, she did something and she did a swatching and I was just like, oh, that is so yummy. And I ordered a little bit and I feel like I don't have my Daniel Smith up here, but let's use, oh, here. Oh, that needs some more water. Ooh, this cotton. Let's do it. So we're doing all water and then we finna watch it. Do. Just watch it pop out. And Bridget, it ain't 100% clear because, I hate to throw my water away sometime when I be done put some good pigment in it. I do. So I just threw that purple water away yesterday. It hurt my heart to pour all that water out. All right, let's use this one. And watch it. This is fun. So another thing, if you're teetering on wanting to use watercolors, and I would, I suggest trying. It's like me with mayonnaise. I don't like it, but I've tried it. Ooh, look at that. Look at that magic. It's magic in the air. And the more pigment you add, the more it pops out. That's fun. Okay, let's see. You get to experiment. So this one is going to be a layered flower. So you probably won't get to see the finish of this one because I'm going to want it to go and do its whole thing. The more water you put, the more it's going to receive. All right. What she was saying was you see the water, you can see the water all around, the clear water, and then you put the paint. Now, remember I told you guys earlier that what I liked most about the granulation, so I'm going to slap some of that on top of there, is the behavior and how it does its own thing. Now all I'm going to do is just keep putting it around and just kind of feel it, just, and it's going to go and do its own thing. Which is why another thing I was talking about when we were talking about paper, you got to pay attention to the paper. I wouldn't have been able to do this on the inexpensive paper. I wouldn't have been able to do what I just did because why? The water would have dried already. Like see on here, this is still wet. So I can still have a lot of fun with this. As a matter of fact, let's wet this up. Let's get some more pigment. And let's go in there. Watercolor is fun. It just brings me so much joy. Look at that. So it is, I'm going to let that dry. Maybe. Yeah, let's let that dry. Because I'll come back after this dries and then we'll layer it in. This will be dry and then we'll come back and put a little bit more in there. But we need this. I want this to behave. See, I want you to see how it's going to behave. Because remember what this color did. Same thing. It just didn't start with a lot of water. Same concept though. So when you look at, there's the pigment and all of that. That's the same color. You just kind of move it around. And then you go and clean your brush. Put some more in there, right? And you get to kind of move, wiggle, 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 wiggle. That's the way I do my petals. Just wiggle, wiggle. Right? And so when they dry, you'll be able to see all the things. So now back to my point. The point of all of this and playing around with it. This one is so much fun. I want y'all to know this paper, I love Bahong paper. I got it off of Temu. I'm just letting you know. It wasn't, but it's 100% cotton. And it's amazing. Look at that. So I'm loving this. I'm loving this. Love it, love it, love it. And I am even loving, like, what? Remember I said this was rough. So see how the paint is going into each part of the, how can I put it? The cradle, because this paper, you see the grooves? It's not smooth. So the paint is sitting. That's why it stopped running, because it just kind of like, oh, okay, let's sit here. So it's sitting there. But do y'all see them colors? Look at them colors. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh. Okay. I digress a whole lot, but I want you to understand that watercolor, it can be fun. It could be the thing that really turn your whole life around. And it could be your own private, like, you got kids and you just don't have time for yourself. You only need 10-15 minutes. You see, it didn't take me that long to slap that flower down there. And do you need to know how to do this? No, you don't. No, you don't. All you can do, let's say if you went to Walmart and you're like, oh my goodness, let me get one of them pads. And I'm going to try this. Let's just say, and she said, I can't draw, right? Get you a spray bottle. Spray a page. Spray the page. Got you some paint and just drop it in there. Just drop it in there. We don't have to worry about it too much. Just in all the wet spots. Just drop it in there. Drag it and drop it. Drag and drop it. Right? Don't worry about what it looks like. because that's not why you're doing it, right? This is not why you're doing it. The outcome is not the outcome of what this looked like. It's not, that's not what we're doing it for. I started doing this because I needed my heart to stop hurting. I needed to really figure out how was I going to get up off the side of the bed and stop crying because I had lost my son. I needed to find creative ways to heal, right? I was already journaling. Journaling is something I did all my life. I didn't, it wasn't helping, right? So this slapping paint on paper, I can't never remember the young lady's name. Um, God, I'm going to have to find her again. But because I don't do acrylic no more, I really don't follow her. But this is like wet on wet technique. The paper is wet. I sprayed the paper, it's wet, and all I'm doing is going in and just adding some color. Watercolor is forgiving. It's just, I told you, it's just like Jesus. It'll forgive. If you do something wrong, you don't like it, you can always go back and reignite it, wake it up. Oh, I'm kind of liking this, even though we just, see what I'm saying? You just go and slap some paint on some paper, literally, right? So, um, for me, I was already praying. I was already, screaming at God and asking God to heal my heart and all the things. And somewhere in there, I heard God say, I just need you to decide what you want to do. I'm here for you. I'm always here for you. Right? And then I did Bible study with watercolors, and that made it better. So I started moving forward. I started breathing. It's just like, oh, okay, I got this. I can do this. It's going to be okay. Now I'm going to turn this into something, because I just wanted you to see how easy it is to really just slap some paint on some paper. Like, we're just going to keep adding some colors, and we got to stick to certain colors because I don't want to make no mud. I didn't care about that in the beginning either. I just slap paint down. It's just like, oh, you can't mix this color with that color because you'll get mud. I'd be like, well, my life feels like mud right now. Who cares? All that self-talk I was doing. But this is pretty. So I would recommend, if you are trying to navigate through life after something has happened, like something that's done knocked the hell out of you, knocked the wind out of you. I don't know what it is. Grief to me is anything that makes your heart hurt. Anything. And if you find yourself in your own team replay, or if you're on the live or whatever, and you're just trying to figure out like what I do next. Find something that you can just be in a quiet, still place, and have a conversation with yourself. And just ask yourself, what are you missing? What do you need to do? What can I do? What do you want to do? Traveling is good. At the time when my son died, he died in 2019, and COVID happened right after that. So, well, couldn't travel. So we were locked up in the house. Only Mr. McCoy got to leave the house because he was mission essential. So I was home, me and the dogs. Right? So as, got invited to the Zoom, and next thing you know, it's like, oh, I can't do what these people do. These people over here, they artists. I ain't no artist. And then my daughter said, you used to do all this stuff with us. Who you think did the science projects and all that? And I was just like, oh, you got a point. Okay? Simple. Now, I'm going to see, because this is already doing something. And the granulation, like, look at this palette right here. This is a good example. Oh, wait. Hold on. Got to back up. Look at that, y'all. Look at that. Look at that pink around there. You see the granulation? Granulating, if you're new to watercolor, you like, what the heck? She keep talking about this granulating. It's more than one pigment that mixed together, and with the granulations, different minerals that are mixed together to make the paint, the watercolors, just really just do some amazing things. That's all I can say. Just do some amazing things. Look at that. Like right around there. Oh, that is so pretty. I'm going to make this into a cute little card. It'll be that way. And I'll probably put another flower right there. I don't know. But this paper I love. It's rough. That paper I love. So it did good. But you can see right here, how that has purple and green and yellow in it. You get to see how even in the, hi Dylan, how are you? I was hoping you saw that there was going to be a time change today. You're not late. You're not late. You're not late. I'm over here. Listen. You're just in time. I didn't have Ian. I just realized. I just looked at the time. It's just like, oh, but I came on today was more for me because when you do team replay, you'll get all of the things. I'm not gonna rehash it because it might take me back, but I'm in a whole lot of better. I'm in a better place. I feel better. My coffee's cold a little bit, but you get to see and then this one has brown. You get to see even in the palette, it just shows up great. But I'm going to take a picture and I'll make a post of this, but you get to see like how the green is just doing its own thing. I'm not into landscape, um, but if I was to do landscape, and I think that's why granulating watercolors, I always thought maybe that was why people really use them because of the way they, do their thing. But I don't do a whole lot of landscape. I do flowers, and I feel like now that I've learned a little bit about granulating watercolors, I let my flowers tell me. I let them dry. Now you get to see we did all of these, and now that they're dry, I'm loving this one. Like it's really, really, really beautiful. And I'll make a bouquet out of this in some way with it. Because this one is the cold press. Yeah, this is the cold press. And this paper, I will say, wasn't expensive. It's not as expensive as Arches, but I like it better than Arches. This is the Bocking Fort traditional watercolor paper. And it's made in England. And it's 140-pound cotton. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And it's performed great. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate you. God knows, redact our lives. Yep. Hugs. Yep. Yep. Dinner time. Up. Yep. Oh, Lisa, what part of North Carolina? I can't remember what part of North Carolina you was from because my hubby's from North Carolina. Okay, so these did great. And the more this one dries, the more, oh, listen, it's dried enough that I can take another brush. We won't take that wet one, but we'll get a little bit more of this color. And we're going to just pull this a little bit wetter, pull this up. And we're not going to do very much. We're just going to add a little bit of water and pull up what's already on the page. Because we kind of wanted it to do a little bit, but like you're going to wake that up, pull that up. And just put a little bit color in the petals where there wasn't anything. And then I'll let that dry. Just pop some water in there. There we go. Boom. That's pretty. That is really, really yummy, 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 yummy. Oh, let's let the water go. Let's just let it go. Where are you going to go? Okay. All right, there's that. All right, I'm going to get up for here because I do need to take the doggies out. But I'm going to tell you again. So if you're new to watercolor and this is something that maybe sparks your interest and you just happen to be on a grief journey and life has just really knocked you to your knees, like maybe grief, trauma, or a chapter you never saw coming, right? Join me, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification on this channel. You get to have kind of like a soft landing and a gentle push because I don't want you to stay in the grief. I want to walk you through the grief. I have, unfortunately, it's been 18 years since my granddaughter and my daughter passed away, and it's been going on 6 years since my son passed away. So I've lost 2 of my 7 children. And I will tell you, don't stay. Walk forward crying, kicking, screaming, do whatever. But here on my channel, that's what I do. And I get to share how I do it. And mine just happened to be that watercolor and crafting and doing things, mixed media, made me want to heal. So starting over after the trauma asking yourself, what does the new look like after whatever your trauma was? Because what? I know firsthand of what it's like. And when you don't want to, like, the first hand of healing doesn't mean returning to who you were. Remember, I can't be who I was the day before, right? It's about becoming someone new. And I like the person that I'm growing into because I'm a little bit more patient with myself, a lot more patient with myself. And before I wasn't, I was angry. And so each day I got to practice what made me happy. And watercolor was my tool, and having conversations here with you guys helps me, like y'all helped me today. Again, thinking about coming. It's Monday. I get to hang out, see who shows up, right? And then you get to have the creative practice that I do. And not so much as teaching you how to do it, just showing you what I do. And then inviting you, if you want to know more and you want to learn, you want to do more, then that's when I invite you, come join me on my Patreon where you get to do more, right? But the creative practice that helped me was stepping into my new life and knowing that it just wasn't what it was before I lost my children. So subscribe to the channel. Grab your favorite drink because usually I have coffee over here. And let's walk this journey together. One healing step at a time. I like to say one brushstroke at a time. Literally, one brushstroke at a time. We get to talk about it, and if here on the channel is, it's a little bit a public platform. That's why I have my Patreon, because I like to invite people to have a little bit more privacy if that's what you want. You need something different. That's it. That's it. Right? So subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, thank you. Okay? And I want you to take away these things. I want you to give yourself permission to grieve and grow. I want to teach you how to honor your pain without staying stuck in it, right? And that's what I do, one stroke at a time. I want you to find your creative healing tool. If you are here or if you're on the replay and you're just like, oh, I like that. I need to do something different, but I don't want to paint. No problem. You can journal. You can doodle. You can, write you something. I don't know how. I journal. I do mixed media. I do crafts. I garden a little bit. I have my dogs. Those are my things that help me to grow, right? I have my faith. I'm a resilient speaker, so I encourage people to be in their truth. Last month we did being vulnerable on this grief journey, and that was basically from my journals of me sharing stuff that I just really needed to, see, is this done? Is it not done? Right? So faith and resilience, right? Have your own story, right? Think about it. Ask yourself, what is it that I need to heal? Is it possible? And then when you ask yourself, is it possible, then answer the question. Remember, I told y'all self-talk. Self-talk wasn't really working for me today. But knowing that I was going to hang out with you guys, I was just the expectation of hanging out with you guys made me feel like, oh, it's going to be okay. I'm going to hang out with them. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Right? So everything that I went through today, it was all worth it, and it just made me be a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more authentic for you guys. So you just need to get inspired, and that's what I'm here for. You'll know exactly how to begin doing something when you start doing it. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, then hey, you can say you tried it. It's like me with mayonnaise. I don't like it. I've tried it. I don't like it. Okay? All right. I done slapped some leaves on there. I just had to. Remember, I healed one stroke at a time. I want to help you heal one stroke at a time. Right? I like that. That's pretty. Love this paper. I'm in love with my mission. Love, love, love. Oh, God, look at this. See, I'm going to look at this all the way until tomorrow. And until this completely dries, it is going to keep on showing out. These mission watercolors, they showing out. So this is, I want to say it's clematis, which is it's purple. It's got a little pink, and I think it's got a hint of brown in it. But this is pretty. I'm not going to put anything else on it because I really wanted to continue talking to me. But it's a beautiful flower. So, and don't think you can't do what I do. You can. This is the first one we did, and that one did good too. All right, guys. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Here we go. Here we go. I wanted to say goodbye in person. I think that works out when you get to see what other person, if you've never been on my channel and you're like, who in the heck or whatever, and you have to go back through other videos. I like to close out so that I can tell you that I am a real person. I am someone that is still grieving. This isn't something that I'm done. It's over with. And my whole studio is centered around me healing. And that way I save people's lives. And I don't mean so that I will kill them or anything. I just save them so I don't cuss them out. Because today, the first 3 ladies that I interacted with probably could have got a good blessing, and then I'd have had to repent for it later. But it wasn't their fault that I hit that wall before I even left the house. Like before I even left the ranch, I was in a pissy mood. Not a pissy mood, but just an interesting mood. It wasn't pissy. It was just interesting. I'm going to journal about it. And probably on Wednesday, maybe I'll have a recap. And maybe I'll have a little bit more, I don't know, of what it was. Because I can't really tell you exactly what it was. That's why I didn't understand why it was like it was. Which is why I just prayed about it. And said, Lord, just give me some joy to get through today. Because I got to be out and do all the things. All right? So you guys helped me today, and I really, really thank you. But I know the dog's ready to go out, and I'm going to go let him out. So y'all have a good day. And remember, take care of you. Because if you don't take care of you, nobody else will, right? People are going to go on about their day. They're going to go on about what they need from you, but they're not going to ask you, are you okay? Do you need anything? Ask yourself, are you okay? Do you need anything? Look in the mirror. Talk to yourself. I told y'all I wake up in the morning and I'll be like, girl, you the best thing that God woke up this morning. And is, you look good, girl. All the things. So therefore, when somebody else says it, then it's just like, oh, I know. Because I've already affirmed myself. So do something for yourself every single day that makes you feel good about you. Don't worry about the rest of the world. Take care of you first. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys Wednesday. And remember, Wednesday's live is going to be at 4 o'clock as well, because Mr. McCoy has to go to therapy this week. But next week, we'll be back to 3 o'clock, because next week his therapy will be Tuesdays and Thursdays. It couldn't be Tuesday tomorrow because I have to take my aunt to Atlanta to the airport. And that just wasn't finna be. I wasn't finna string myself out like that, trying to get him to therapy here and then trying to get her to the airport. See, we're all over the place around here. All right, guys, take care of you. You're all you got. Love you guys. Thank you for showing up. Team Replay, I appreciate you.